inspiration only. We'll continue along with the inspiration. This next young lady who I'd like to bring up, 10 years ago she was a volunteer. Today she's a paid teacher. She's a second grade teacher and it's her first year here at Children's First Academy. I'd like to bring up Elizabeth Smith.
Earlier, I said, your only job tonight is to get me up that step. And now, at the end, she's going to get me down. Thank you so much to Dina for asking me to speak tonight. I am so honored to be here. I'm the new girl. I'm Mrs. Smith. I teach second grade. Some of the veteran teachers here tonight have so many more miles on their teaching certificate than I do. So I really have no business being up here. But it doesn't matter if it's your first year or if you're teaching in your 20th year. We all care about these kids. When you teach a little kid to read, it's one of the best feelings in the world. We do it every day, and we are making a difference. I want to tell all my fellow teachers that I've worked with this year, I could not have made it without you. So thank you. I had no idea how hard teachers work until I started working that hard. I'm a first-year teacher, not only at Children's First, but like brand new first-year teacher. I just graduated from ASU in May. I got my certificate. I went down and applied for my teaching certificate, and here I am. It took me a long time to think of what I was going to say to you tonight, and then days and days to get it all down on paper. I've been talking to myself. You know the kind of talking you do when you have something really big on your mind and you're the only one you can talk to about it? I ride the bus into work every day from Happy Valley Road. Yeah, and once in a while on the bus, I would catch myself muttering, my hands would start moving, and my mouth would go, and I would deliver the most remarkable, heartfelt stuff, and then I never would write any of it down. This would happen most often in the morning while on playground duty, or while riding home on the city bus in the evening. Did you know there's a lot of people on the city bus working on speeches? Talking to yourself on the city bus, perfectly okay. And boy, were those some great speeches. It's too bad you weren't standing next to me on the playground that day, or catching the bus with me at Central in Van Buren. Those people heard some pretty amazing speeches about this place. But this is the speech you're getting. It's grammatically correct and filled with all the same emotion as the unrecorded rants on the bus. But it is mostly about how I got to this spot and about how rewarding it is to work with these kids. I've spent the last year with 17 of the greatest little kids you could ever know. And I know that I have been instrumental in changing their perspective on education. I've been excited to learn right along with them. I've introduced them to art and literature by reading to them every day. I make them aware of how fun and entertaining it is to have a large vocabulary. I talk to them. I use big words with them. I read to my students often, and they love to hear a good story. So this is what I thought I would do. Mrs. Smith is going to tell you a story about the relationship that I have with this school. It's what all good second grade teachers do. So sit up straight, Listening ears on. Here we go. There once was a young mother with 3 little children. She lived in the suburbs. She stayed home. She watched morning educational TV with her kids. She made lots of peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. She did the laundry, and she had a meal on the table every night when her husband came home from a long day's work. Life was good, life was predictable, and nothing ever bothered her. Her husband took their only car into the city for his job. When one night he came down, he sat down at the dinner table and he said to his wife, "There's this school. They're up for an award that the city is giving out, and I'm on the committee. These impoverished kids are from the surrounding neighborhoods. They come to school and the school helps them with shoes and clothes and health care, and they educate them too. You should see this place, honey. They were nominated because they're doing some amazing things there." The mother had not known about the school before. Kids without permanent homes, kids without food, kids without warm clothes. This bothered her. The mother could relate, though. As a girl, she had moved around a lot and went to 11 different schools by the time she graduated. Her father had died when she was 8, and her life was never the same after that. Living with an inattentive single mom who never stayed in one place too long, she knew all too well what it felt like not to have a home. Then when the girl was 15 and needed a place to stay, a wonderful family took her in. They shared their home with her, and they changed her life forever. They were, no surprise, both teachers. They have called the girl their daughter ever since. Her life was much different after that. She married, and her husband put more than just a roof over her head. There was a home and a beautiful family around her. There was protection, and her husband provided well, but she never forgot her childhood. And this always bothered her. In the weeks that followed, every time she put her daughter's little chubby baby arms into her warm coat, and every time she tucked one of her sons into his nice warm bed, she thought about the school and the kids, and it bothered her. Finally, she said to her husband, "Take me downtown with you so I can meet these little kids." So he did. The mother was given a tour of the school. She saw the clothing room where the children were given clothes and shoes. She saw the nurse's office where the children were given free medical attention. She saw the children eating. She saw the teachers making accommodations for students who were old enough to be in her class, but because they moved so much, not performing at grade level. She saw all of this, and it bothered her. The eldest son of the mother started his freshman year that year at a private boys' school. The mother helped him a lot with his challenging homework. Then one night, the boy said to his mother, "Mom, you're pretty smart. You should have gone to college." And this bothered her a great deal. People had said it before, but somehow it sounded different coming from her own child. Well, after her visit to the school and after her child's comment, the mother said to her husband one night at dinner, "Honey, I want to teach at that school. But first I have to go to college." So at 40, the mother went back to school. It was difficult. After helping her children with their homework, she would slip out at night and take classes. One of the neighbors made dinner for the family every Thursday night because the mother was no longer able to prepare the meals like before. During the day, the mother was busy studying and writing papers. The first class she took required her to observe for 2 full days in a classroom. So the mother phoned the school and asked if she could come down and fulfill the requirement. The teacher that the mother was placed with let the mother teach the class for 2 glorious days. Afterwards, the teacher said something to the mother that was so touching, it carried her through the entire 6 years it took her to get her degree. What was that thing that the teacher said? She said, "Mrs. Smith, you are meant to be a teacher." The mother had to complete several more hours of student teaching in her final years of college. The school would receive a phone call from the mother about every other year, asking if she could come in and fulfill some of her teaching hours. The answer was always yes. She was placed with a veteran teacher at the school, and every Friday for 1 semester, the novice and the pro taught together and became friends. Then one day, the veteran teacher needed a substitute. And it was very early in the morning. The mother's cell phone rang. "Could you substitute my class today?" she said. "Oh, could I?" For the first time, the mother was a real teacher with a real class for the whole day. She wept while singing the Pledge of Allegiance that day, and she relished in the routine of teaching. I just want to tell Miss Mary Fowler, thank you so much. Finally, the mother graduated from ASU. She never forgot those little needy kids and how much it bothered her. She came back, and now she teaches 2nd grade at the school. In fact, her whole family came. Her husband and her kids and the neighbor who made the meals, and those wonderful people who took her in so many years ago. They all now volunteer at the school. And I just wanted to point them out. This is my family. Now, when I look over at that new school, I have to tell you, it's starting to bother me. If it bothers you, jump up and help out. 1 person at a time. We can change the lives of all these little kids. Thank you.